Okay, but like, what the fuck is Warhammer, though? Like, that's the whole reason this video exists, I just don't get it. Like, I think it's a board game, but like the kind where you make models. Like the models I see at a nerd store and I want to like buy one and paint it, but then I look at the shelves and there's so many and I get overwhelmed and I leave. Those kind. But then on top of that there's like a story and like books? What the fuck? Specifically 462 books. And like 22 game franchises? Like, I'm no math expert, I'm not a nerd, but that sounds like a lot. Like, how does anyone keep track? Like, you'd have to be that guy that has all the Star Wars merchandise. Except you'd have to have more books because there are more Warhammer books than Star Wars books? What the fuck? Or maybe you'd have to be like that weird kid who collects video games, but ugh, gross, nobody likes that kid. Now, I'm not completely out of the loop with Warhammer. Like, I know some things, like, there are some games, and I've played some of them. So to start off, I'm gonna try and set the stage for the Warhammer universe. I don't know what I'm talking about, but let's do it. So Warhammer has two Warhammers. One is space and one is old. The old one, the one that's just called Warhammer, the medieval one, I know fuck all about. Like, the Total War game looks cool, but my computer can't run that. But I've seen other people play it, so I know it's got like elves and goblins and shit, but that's about it. There might also be three Warhammers, where one is the apocalypse, but with rats? Like, Remy's not fucking around this time. But I think that one's just a spin-off of the fantasy one. And then there's the one that is space. I know more about that one. Basically, there's these big buff armored dudes like Spartans from Halo that I'm definitely not attracted to. And they're all definitely overcompensating for something. Like, fuck, that's just a cock, dude. These guys are the protagonists in a lot of games, but they're not good. They're like American imperialism, but space. I mean, they are called the Empire of Man, so I think they're also racist. Like, I don't have anything to back that up per se, but they all get on their knees for this white dude and they think everybody should do the same. And then there's these guys. They're all dark and mysterious and they make weapons, and that's all I know about them. There's also the Chaos Space Marines. They're bad boys. Like, they're just so chaotic. They got real crackhead energy. Like, oh my god, Maddie, stop bending to the will of the chaos. You're such a crackhead. There's also the Necrons from the 1991 film Terminator. They're taking a big nap, and when they wake up, oh boy, is shit gonna go down. And there's the Orcs. They do orc shit. They like big guns. It's really not that deep. And let me introduce you guys to the Tau. They're pretty chill. Like, they just want what's best for everyone, you know? But based on what I know about this universe, they're probably secret space Nazis or something. I don't know. And those are all the factions I know. There's like 100. They all kill each other, and it's all very expensive. And that's it. That's all I got for you. So what am I doing today? Thank you for asking. That's very kind of you. Today we're talking about 3 Warhammer shooters. One's about the Tau, one's about the Imperial scum, and the other one's, that's the one about the rats. So first up, in order of release, we have Fire Warrior. In Fire Warrior, you play as a Fire Warrior. You get to see what a 24-hour period is like for a soldier in one of these massive battles. It's just a cute little slice of life, you know? Just like a day in the life of a boy during the middle of an intergalactic conflict. But on PS2, this game is a little rough around the edges. It's definitely not the Halo killer that it thought itself to be. It's got some pretty wonky aiming, and by that I mean a seriously aggressive auto-aim that you kinda have to have on to have fun with the game. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Halo actually doesn't have wonky aiming. Like, hot take, I think Halo might actually be the better game, what the fuck? But I'll give it this, the graphics actually do look pretty good, and I know you can't see that here, but that's because... Guys, I'm here to apologize. Because last week, I said that SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman was weirdly dim, and it wasn't. It wasn't the game's fault. It was my AV to HDMI upscaler. I'm just really sorry, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. So knowing that it wouldn't look that great on the recording, I kind of gave up on including this game. But then it was on GOG for $3. I don't know why I keep wasting money on this channel. I don't see any returns. So on PC, this game is actually kinda great. It controls really well. No shitty auto-aim here. It runs really smoothly, and as a really popular YouTuber who posts videos in 4K, I must thank them for the widescreen support. I actually stuck with it a lot longer than its PS2 counterpart. And I got pretty invested. Like, I saw this Space Marine gun thing, and I actually smiled. And then this motherfucker came out, and it was pretty cool, I will not lie. I actually ended up having a lot of fun on this little Tau adventure. Now my only complaint with this game is that a lot of the guns aren't super satisfying. A lot of the stronger guns, like that bolter, are, but the early game guns, not so much. And while only being able to carry 2 guns is normal, like in that one game I keep mentioning, the fact that one of them has to be a Tau gun is a little annoying. But other than that, this game is pretty fun. And the visuals look really nice. You really do get this sense that you're part of a much bigger war. I think that part holds up really well. I would highly recommend the GOG port of this game. Or you could just play Halo. I mean, they're pretty similar. But say you want a Gears of War ripoff instead. Well, don't look at Warhammer 40k Space Marine. For some reason, when it came out, I brushed it off as another Gears of War ripoff. Everything is a ripoff when you're a game critic. Cause inspiration doesn't exist and every idea is stolen from somewhere else. Or maybe it was because I was 11. Cause this game isn't even a cover shooter. It stands out quite a lot from its 2011 competition. But like a lot of games from the 360 generation, our protagonist looks a little brain dead. It's a lot of fun though. You play as the Imperials, specifically a Space Marine. I'm noticing a theme with these names. I assume in the next one you'll play a Vermintide or something. Look, I know I said these guys suck earlier, but they can actually be pretty cool. The combat is just so cool, you know? You look so buff and so like sexy and like manly as you fight, cause being manly is so sexy, you know? No, what do you mean? I'm not gay. I'm leaving it in there so that they know that I'm manly. You know, they know I'm not gay if I leave that in. Sometimes you do things so cool that the frame rate just dies. The game actually has this really cool combat loop that feels very Doom 2016, but also pretty unique in its own right. Well, it also predates Doom 2016 by like 5 years, so there's also that. You'll kill enemies at long range, but then enemies at short range will start to outnumber you, so you'll have to take them out. So you'll fight them with a melee combat system, and then when you start to run out of health, you'll use a finishing move to get your health back. It feels very nice, and even if it lacked a little bit of variety, anytime it felt too repetitive, the game threw me a bone. In the form of a jetpack, or a new gun, or a new enemy type. Not really bones, but all that spices things up quite a bit. The game actually had a lot more weapon variety than I expected. You can even swap out your melee weapons, giving you some new animations. I liked this game a lot more than I expected to. The ending even made me actually like some of these guys. Like, I'm sorry guys, I take back how dogmatic I called you, but only a teeny tiny bit. I like how big this universe feels. And I like how different perspectives recontextualize things. Like how in Fire Warrior, getting the bolter was like an event, like a heavy weapon, but in Space Marine, it's just your standard assault rifle. Very cool. Big universe feels big. So now let's go back in time, to the end of the world. I think. I don't know what I'm talking about. Next up, we have Warhammer The End Times Vermintide. This one takes place in the Warhammer universe, which is the medieval one, but at the apocalypse, the rat-pocalypse, as it were. It's like Left 4 Dead, but with rats, and therefore better. So the Left 4 Dead influence is, noticeable, but I actually think I prefer this game to Left 4 Dead. The loadout system is very customizable and gives the game a lot of replay value, as if it even needs it. It's got plenty of levels as it is. And the more varied characters makes it much more impactful as to who you pick, and gives you a bunch of different playstyles to play around with. So let's talk about the game. After having a really meaningful moment making all the characters walk back and forth because funny, I picked the Archer because girl. And also because I've always been so fascinated with Archer characters. No, not like that. I'm not gay. I just think they're cool. The game is very fun, with all sorts of possible playstyles. Lots of fun melee and ranged combat against big hordes. The combat doesn't have a whole lot of substance, but you see that's where the teamwork comes in, because you gotta keep yourself and the others alive. But you see, I played this game alone because I don't have any friends, so I got to work with shitty AI. I still had a good time, though. The visuals are stunning. It has some very beautiful locations. I mean, I know a sewer isn't like literally beautiful, idiot. I'm just saying that every location is well realized and looks good, jeez. Like, they turned a library sideways? What the fuck? How did they do that, though? The different enemy classes are also very reminiscent of Left 4 Dead, but hey, at least they look cool. What can I say? I like the rats. I could definitely see myself slaughtering Remy's Horde again. There's also a sequel that looks pretty good, but I have a budget of like $2. You may notice that I only talked about action games in this video. Very good observation. This is because my PC is made of actual fucking garbage. And also because real gamers only play shooters with hot girls, alright? But the best Warhammer games are Mechanicus and the First Dawn of War. But y'all didn't hear nothing, because in the eyes of the people, I'm a real gamer, alright? I like shooting games like a real man. So that's the end of the video, but I just wanted to take a second to say that we here at BakeFynn, which is, just me, believe that Black Lives Matter. I'm not going to apologize for getting political because this is very important to me. I've been very vocal about this outside of YouTube, so I felt very disingenuous not bringing it up. I would like to help in any way that I can, even though I have such a small platform. So in the description, I'll be linking some places that you can donate, including Black Lives Matter, the Innocence Project, and Color for Change, along with some petitions. And for those of you who want to donate but can't, I will also be linking a YouTube video, all of the proceeds from which are going directly to charities. That's my little piece. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for your support.